Good morning and welcome back everybody to Apaya Puzzles, where today we have a setter who is new to me. I think we've been following each other for some time on Twitter, but I don't know that I've solved any of his crosswords before. His name's Vaughan and he sent me this crossword suggesting that I might like to try it. And sad story is that I did try it and I solved it and I really liked it. Yesterday. However, I discovered at the end that I had misclicked the record button and so nothing had been recorded. I didn't want to not cover this because it's a really good crossword, so I thought I would do a video walking through the solution. But having done the crossword already, it means that I was able to build this with the solution in place, meaning that I can put a link to this below in the description if you want to give it a try, and it will validate. I recommend it. One of the benefits of having done this already is that I can confirm its quality. This is a really nice crossword. I would say the difficulty is somewhere in the range of the big issue setters, so more difficult than an LR and easier than a DA, which is not saying a lot. A couple of DA-ish kind of tricks, but nothing as curly as DA. And just generally a really some really nice clues, a kind of mix of straightforward clues and trickier ones. You might notice that the grid structure is unusual. We have a bunch of these runs of cells that don't have crossing letters, and then kind of two together that do cross. So this is an unconventional grid design, and particularly the lack of, these are called unches, unchecked cells. This can make solving more difficult, especially in a case like this where the first letter is not available nor the second. However, the quality of the clues was really good. So links in the description. I recommend giving it a try if you're a cryptic solver and you want a new challenge. It's always good to try a new setter, especially if it's kind of been vetted already, so you know that that the quality is good. And then you can come back here and check out my walkthrough if that's useful. So without further ado, I'm just going to walk through, I think probably answer by answer. I won't bother being too trying to mimic my actual solve path. So doubtful assorted coatings. I got this pretty quickly. Doubtful and assorted could both be anagram indicators, and all of the words in this clue have 8 letters long, so it wasn't immediately obvious. However, assorted is probably the more likely more likely anagram indicator. And if we rearrange the word coatings, we get a word for doubtful, which is agnostic. Now 2 down was unavailable because I needed to know what 16 across was, so I left that. Unrewarding joints replaced me in this. This is a tricky one. I didn't get this until towards the end. I had some ideas and just didn't put it together. I was thinking the definition might be in this, although I think if it was, it would be more likely to have a question mark because it would be a bit of an unusual one. But actually, me in this, so the word this has an I in it, which also means me, and so we're replacing the I in this with a word for joints, which are ankles. And so we get the TH and S with ankles in the middle for thankless. So quite a classy play that. Tricky one. 8 across I think was easy. Part of greater age. So we can see within this term here we have ERA for era. And the exclamation mark suggests that the entire clue is a definition for that word. So part of a greater age might be an era. This looks unusual, 2 down, 4 letters, G space R space. So I didn't quite know what to do with that. Alcove's missing first echo, muddied singing. So alcove's missing the first letter of echo is alcoves. And if we muddle that up, we get vocals, which means singing. Interestingly, the word first is kind of could be removed here because echo stands for the letter E in the phonetic alphabet, if I'm not wrong. So 5 down I think was also easy. Poison extract from hive nomads. So this is venom. This is a hidden. So an extracted from this word, these terms are VENOM in order. 6 down, after getting blood transfusion, head of board might sing 2 down. So we'll come back to this as a good clue, but since we don't know 2 down, we'll come back around. Oddly loud purge is shocking. So oddly loud is the odd letters of loud, and to purge is to rid, and lurid is shocking. 9 across was a nice one. Windows sticker to underage surfers. This took me quite a while actually. I think, I'm not sure if I had any more letters than this in place, but the answer to this is baby on board. So this is a double definition with a kind of cryptic feeling about it, or figurative meaning. Underage surfers, babies on boards. And 12 across, skip returning rebel leader divided island. I had to think about this for a while. There were a few different ways this wordplay could go, but the rebel leader seemed to me to suggest an R at the end, and then with a bit of thinking I realized that the word would be Timor, with skip being to omit, and that going backwards, returning, and Timor being a divided island. This is looking interesting here. It took me quite a while actually to get this answer, but we'll go for it now. Tomb ghost pairs upsetting Bletchley workers. I was confused by this because Tomb ghost pairs has 14 letters and Bletchley workers has 16 letters, so neither of those were pure anagram fodder. But with the C and the Y and the T, I noticed that we could have crypt for tomb, and then it looked like it was going to have to be cryptographers, but that actually doesn't fit. It is cryptographists. I think I had some other crossing letters to confirm that. And the ographists is an anagram of ghost pairs. So 11 across, dark blouse front miss. So this was an easy one for black. Blouse front is B, and to miss is to lack. I think it was probably with these letters in place that I figured out what 2 down was, and I don't think I had these. I didn't have the S and the R in place here, so I was unsure about 16 across, because we'll come back to that. But I realised that 2 down was likely to be the word by in the middle, and then realised this is going to be girt by C, a reference to the Australian national anthem. Which suggested this was going to be Australia, which I think I only maybe had 1 letter of at that point. So anomalous Eurovision entrant Baz Luhrmann's work. Actually, I meant to look this up before doing the video, but so Baz Luhrmann's work is the film Australia, I'm pretty sure, and I was so confused when I was solving this because I didn't actually know that reference, and anomalous Eurovision entrant I think just means either that I don't know the first thing about Eurovision, so either Australia was once in Eurovision as a one-off, or we're in there all the time, but it's anomalous because we're not in Europe. So I'm guessing that's what that's about. Excuse my ignorance. So 14 and 17 are joined together, and a common ailment returned, and I entered fitful nap. So fitful nap is rearranging the word nap to pan and putting an I inside for pain. That's how I approached it, realizing that pain would make sense with the words common ailment. And then I realized that returned would be back. So back pain is the common ailment. 10 down, I had this earlier on, guy following thanks explorer. So a guy is a man, and thanks is tar with an S on the end, so more than one thank, I guess. And Tasman being an explorer. Again, another Australian reference. In fact, I hadn't noticed when I was solving this that you've got the Australia through the middle, and then you've got girt by sea and Tasman. So I wonder if there'll be more. Also, this 4 down, Bletchley workers, I don't know what that is. I should have looked that up as well. So 6 down reveals itself to be choir, who might sing Girt by Sea, and this is a we've got head of board, which is the chair, but the A in chair is being replaced by O, which is to say it's having a blood transfusion, A blood to O blood. I picked up on that wordplay potential as soon as I looked at the clue, but I couldn't solve it, I don't think, until I had all 3 letters and then realised, oh yeah, head of board is chair. I think I was thinking head of board was B, and that was throwing me off the scent. 14 down, Lithuanian scientists' workplace raised half a small mint. So this is Baltic. A scientist's workplace is a lab, and that's being raised upwards. And half a small mint is tick, as in tic-tac. 13, yeah, I'll come back to that one. I struggle with that. 15, this one threw me. So 23 across I had done earlier, and it says 11 crosses complement here and in the casino, and so 11 across is black, and I thought the complement of black is white, and that white is abbreviated to W in chess and possibly other contexts, and then here, to be here is to be in, is John here, for example. And so that it would be win, and that you win in a casino. And I commented when I solved that it was a kind of slightly skew-if definition. And so I went on my merry way thinking that was the answer. And when I came to 15 down, a near case mismanagement of untimely ripping, I noticed the potential for the word caesarean. And that is indeed the answer, but I didn't look closely enough at the letter, at the fodder for that, a near case, and obviously it's a tricky word to spell, and there are a couple of different spellings, but I just went with I think I went with this, thinking two A's and two E's in near case, forgetting there was another A there as well, and that there's no I, but it all fit in so well. I didn't think. So this E was wrong, making 21 across wrong, and indeed 23 is not win. So caesarean, in fact, is spelled like this, at least in this answer. There are other spellings, and this makes this red. And this is the one clue that I don't fully understand. So black's complement in the casino would be red, so I understand that, but I'm not sure why black's complement here means red. Yeah, so answers on a postcard or in a comment if you have a thought as to if there's something I'm missing there. Yeah, I don't quite understand, but I think it's the only clue that I wasn't able to pass in the end. There's one or two that I struggled for a second and then realized, oh, that's cool. So 25 across even uses disruptive noises in legislative settings. Yeah, this one threw me a little bit. I thought, so the answer to this is sessions, which is legislative sittings. Even uses is S and S, and disruptive noises is an anagram of noises. And I thought that was saying SS and noises were being put together and then rearranged. And in that case, the anagram indicator in between the two of them was kind of awkward. But actually, I think what's intended is that users, the even letters of users, S and S, are at the ends, and then disruptive noises, anagram of noises, is inside of that. So the word in is placed slightly awkwardly, but that's not unconventional, whereas putting the anagram indicator in the middle, I think, would have been. So, so that checks out. 13 down, Joy bashes private 6 down, so I may as well just put this in. This is Glee clubs, and I don't think I got this until the very end because I'm not really familiar with the Glee idea, but Joy is Glee. I had thought of that and didn't put it together, and bashes is clubs, and a private choir is a Glee club. Plates is China. Of course, I had an E in place here, so that was throwing me. And this is quite a throwing clue, because every third cash prize no sale, you just need to take every third letter of cash prize no sale to get China. However, you start with the first letter, and when I tried to pass it with this idea, I'd been starting with the third letter S, but if we start with CHINA, we get China for plates. 18 down, liquors attain mid-range allowance. This was an easy one for quota. The middle letters, the mid-range of liquors is QO, and attain is TA for quota, which is an allowance. 24, deep-voiced alien dog. I like that one for Bassett. Deep voice is bass and alien is ET. 22, mixing churn boosts March food. Well, this one threw me for a second because I associate Easter with April, but of course it can be March as well. And it's an anagram of churn boosts for a hot cross bun. 19 down, punches draw dwellers. So this is socks. I think actually this one might be slightly inaccurate, in that a sock, to sock is to punch, and socks live in drawers, so they are drawer dwellers, except that a drawer of the type we're talking is DRAWER. I don't think it's valid to call it a drawer without the ER, so slightly inaccurate there. 19 across, so this is a DA kind of play, so poles. The answer to this is south, and of course south is only one pole. However, if we split the clue into pole and the letter S on its own, then pole means south, and the letter S is also an abbreviation for south. I think I got that after having already gotten 20 down, which was a German sub edits about, and so we just need to edit the word about to give U-boat. And I totally misspelled that. There we go. Hot cross bun. So there we go. My solve, in some sense, I'm glad that I didn't have to expose you to some of my misthinkings. This 16 across clue really confused me. Now that I think about it, are there any more Australian references? Unless the Bletchley reference is Australian, I don't think so. So yeah, I think my only question is this 23 across, and everything else made a lot of sense once I got over the line with it, and I really enjoyed it. So I hope you did too. I hope you gave it a try. It can be, having said a few crosswords myself in the past, it can be a slightly lonely existence as a cryptic setter because there's not an enormous audience for them. Even Cracking the Cryptic, which on the Discord server has a word puzzle section, it's not a hugely active group. So when you publish a cryptic, unless you've got a pre-existing audience for cryptics, you're lucky to maybe get 5 people seeing it, and of course a lot of work goes into building one, so it can be a little deflating. So hopefully Vaughan has gotten a little bit of an audience from this video, and you can follow him on Twitter if you want to see more of his work. I don't know how much he sets, no idea, but yeah. Thank you to Vaughan for sending that. It was, I really enjoyed solving it. It is a shame that the solve video didn't get to go up in its native form, because I know it's kind of interesting to see someone wrestle with something and make a fool of themselves. But there we go. I hope this was useful today, and I'll see you all again soon. I'm thinking of, I shouldn't say this because it may not come through, but there was a really interesting looking Sudoku puzzle on Cracking the Cryptic this morning, which I haven't watched the video because I want to try it myself, and I'm going to do that to video and see how we go. So fingers crossed that will be the next video out. Otherwise likely to be another cryptic soon. So until then, take care, and I'll catch you all another day.